Okay, guys, I'm back. I'm here today to read a story, and I have a friend that would like to say hello. He's being very lazy today, as you can see. See? He's always down for a belly rub. Oh, that's Scout for anyone who doesn't know. Okay, so today Miss M is going to read a story to you, and today's story is called Chickens Aren't the Only Ones. Now, some of you have read this story, some of you have not. I wonder what it is. What does that even mean? Chickens aren't the only ones. They're not the only ones to do what? To have feathers, to have beaks, to go caw-caw-caw. That was not a good chicken sound. Some of you guys are better at chicken sounds. Okay, so the author today is Ruth Heller, and she's the illustrator. Do you remember what it means to be the author and the illustrator? I sure hope so. Author means they wrote the words. Illustrator means they drew the pictures. And if they do both, that means they got a really good talent at writing the words and they have a really good talent in drawing the pictures. So, let's go ahead and start. You ready to read? He's wanting a belly rub. He'll get one after. Okay. Alright. So, our first picture, we have this weird thing where there's lots of chickens and lots of eggs. Wonder what, they're not the only ones that do something. Okay. Chickens lay the eggs you buy. Did you know that? I sure hope so. I sure hope the chickens are what we buy the eggs from. I'm sure. The eggs you boil or fry, or what else can you do with an egg? You can scramble them. You can dye them, or you can leave alone so you can see what grew inside naturally. Those are pretty. Easter's coming up. I wonder how many of you guys are going to be dyeing eggs. Chickens aren't the only ones. Now, this bird is a little bit different. I wonder if you remember what this kind of bird is called. Look at all those pretty feathers. Let's see what the question says. Where did you hear these words before? Chickens aren't the only ones. I wonder. I've seen those words already today. Where have I seen them? If you guessed the front cover on the title, you are correct. The title is Chickens Aren't the Only Ones. Chickens aren't the only ones to do what? Have we figured out what they're talking about? I hope so. Every bird, wild or... what is it called when it's the opposite of wild? See, we have eagles and penguins. And that pink bird is a flamingo, I think. And that looks like a funny pheasant and a chukar. We have those here. I wonder, what's the opposite of wild? Tame does the same. So all those other birds were wild, which means that you cannot have them as pets. These are tame, which means you can. So we have a turkey and a duck. Well, yeah, a couple different kinds of ducks. Does anyone remember what that one is? It's a swan. Hey, will you stop? Just lay down. He's getting bored. The ostrich, hey, stop it. He likes to lick his feet. The ostrich lays the largest egg. Did you know that? The largest egg in the world is laid by the ostrich. The hummingbird lays, what do you think? The smallest. So what do you notice about these eggs? Are these normal eggs that you're used to seeing all the time? Hey, stop it. You're ruining the show. Lay down. There. See? Oh. Leave me alone. The largest egg, the hummingbird, lays the smallest. Okay, so sorry. Scout disrupted me. There's the male lady. And he's going to bark really loud, so be ready for that. Okay, so all these legs are, all of these eggs. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. So all of these eggs are different sizes. They're different colors. And they have different things on them, with different patterns, I guess you'd call them, wouldn't you? Chickens aren't the only ones. Now we're getting into different birds, or not, different animals than birds, okay? So now we have reptiles. So most snakes lay eggs, and lizards too, and crocodiles, and turtles do. So all of these animals lay eggs. Did you know that? Did you remember that? Sometimes I forget that chickens aren't the only ones that lay eggs. And the reptile's cousin, they're big and gigantic. I wonder if you remember what they're called. And dinosaurs, who are extinct, but they were reptiles too. Reptiles are all those big, scaly lizard animals. Frogs and toads and salamanders lay eggs. Now we're into amphibians, which are like slimy lizards. And when they hatch, they're tadpoles who grow legs and climb a lily pad, just like their mom and dad. Lily pad and dad, those two words do something cool. They rhyme. They don't have claws or scaly skins. They are called amphibians. The mail truck going back by. So we had birds, which had feathers. We had reptiles, which have scaly skin. We had amphibians that have slimy skin. Now I wonder, what's next? They live in the water. They swim around. Did you guess it? Fish! Fish eggs float up to the surface or sink to the bottom of the ocean floor. Okay, what are the fish eggs? What do they look like, do you think? What do you think fish eggs look like? They look like bubbles to me. I wonder why they look like bubbles. The mother seahorse lays her eggs into the father's pouch. What's another animal that has a pouch? Kangaroo, you're right. He keeps them until they hatch. Then he helps them through. I think that's nice of him, don't you? These fathers, too, are helping out by guarding eggs protected by that foamy mass that's floating by. See that? And they won't leave until they're sure that all the eggs have hatched. That's pretty nice of the dads, huh? You know, penguin dads, they hold on to the eggs too before they hatch. That way the mom can go looking for food. These don't look like eggs to me, but they were laid in the sea. This one by a shark. This one, by a ray, is a mermaid's purse, they say. Doesn't that look like it could be a mermaid's purse? And those are rays, I think. I'm not sure. I'm not a scientist. The octopus is said to shed 100,000 eggs and then to hang them up in strings attached to rocks or caves. Do those even look like eggs to you? They look like pretty vines to me. The moon snail's eggs are mixed with the sand to form this collar-looking band. That looks like a snail. Or like a hermit crab shell. Okay, so we've talked about birds and reptiles and amphibians and fish. Now there's kind of a really important thing that we're forgetting that lays eggs. Do you remember what they are? I'm not a big fan. They're in your house. They make these silky webs that they lay their eggs on. Spiders. Ugh. They wrap their eggs in sacs. And snails, you know, are very slow. They lay eggs that hatch and grow. So do you see this spider sac? If you see one of those on a spider web, leave it alone. And then snail eggs. See the baby snails hatching? Pretty cool. And now the rest of the bugs. Insects who have 6 legs and lay many different kinds of eggs. This one will hatch into a caterpillar who will grow and grow and grow and then climb up a stem and change into this chrysalis. Remember what they become once they're in there? A chrysalis, and change again one summer morn. That's how. I wonder what they become. A butterfly is born. See that? Isn't that crazy that a big old caterpillar can eat and eat and eat and eat and then change into a very cool butterfly? Animals with fur or hair who nurse their youngs do not lay eggs, and they're known as mammals or mammalia. We're mammals. That means we have fur or hair, and we don't lay eggs. But these are 2 exceptions. They both live in Australia. So these 2, somehow, they do lay eggs, even though they're kind of like us. See? I think that's a duck-billed platypus and a spiny anteater. What do you think is so special about a spiny anteater? Why do you think he has those spines on him? You think it's because he uses them to protect himself? Because that's what I would say. Chickens are not the only ones. There's no more to discuss. Everyone who lays an egg is called a oviparous. Oviparous. So if you hear that word, oviparous, you know they lay eggs. You'll have to remember that. Never forget it. Just kidding. Animals who don't lay eggs have babies born alive and well. That's another tale to tell. So, does a cat lay eggs? Is it an oviparous? No. And there's our end. Okay. All right. I'm going to ask you one question that you have to leave a comment down below in, okay? Are you ready? What does it mean when it says chickens aren't the only ones? They aren't the only ones to do what? I need to know. Okay, leave a comment down below. It was really good hanging out with you guys again. Hopefully we can get to hang out in person soon, okay? I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.